Almost 8:30 at night, the security camera shows a car pulling over, a motorbike getting tangled up beside it, and the classic Back for More duo already tripping over their own plan. They pull up alongside the car and drop that same old catchphrase from the shortcut crew. "You done, you done." The driver, who just wanted to get home in peace, realizes this appointment showed up off schedule and switches straight into full security mode. In seconds, the duo's bravery evaporates. One is resting on the ground. The other switches to 100-meter dash mode without even looking back. The specialist steps out of the vehicle calmly, keeps everything under control, and waits for the official transport to arrive, taking the duo's members straight to the famous "you go in, but you don't leave anytime soon" residence. Busy street, everything following the normal script of the day until the duo of bad idea at the worst time enters the scene. They pull the bike up beside a calm citizen, drop the classic shortcut catchphrase, "Pull over, it's over, it's over." The man gets scared, the bike wobbles, the passenger jumps off in a hurry, already ready to activate full movie-style escape mode. But there's one detail. In that scene, there's a specialist in solving problems with firmness and calm. He walks up, no rush, and says, "Everything okay here? Or did someone ask for a special kind of assistance?" Realizing things are not going his way, the improvised visitor tries to switch to marathon mode, but the plan don't land. Quick approach, situation under control, and one of them gets a direct invite to the famous "make yourself at home but you won't be leaving anytime soon" residence. And the bike goes back to its real owner with the proper happy ending on the paperwork.
Exactly noon. A motorbike pulls up in front of the shop. A guy gets off full of attitude, walking like he's the main character, but he's definitely not a regular customer. He walks in with confidence and drops the favorite catchphrase of the shortcut crew: "It's over." He starts gathering the items carefully, placing them in the side bag as if they were travel souvenirs. What he didn't expect is that the shop owner, besides being a merchant, is a specialist at hitting the emergency button and calling backup at the speed of light. When the visitor gets ready to switch on escape mode, the script changes completely. The mannequin in motion gets tangled up, drops his own bike, looks one way, then the other, and realizes the scene is no longer under his control. The neighbors, always alert, turn into a live audience and support team, helping to hold the visitor until the official transport arrives. And just like that, our improvised protagonist earns a spot in the famous condominium of deep reflection, with plenty of time to think, rethink, and maybe plan a much calmer life.
Quiet residential street, people walking, a cyclist working out, all calm. When out of nowhere, they show up, the classic "hand it all over" duo. They pull up alongside the man on the bicycle. Not even the fitness ride escaped the crisis. The cyclist gets scared, the bike falls, and the duo already tries to secure the full package: watch, phone, chain, whatever they can grab. But this rider was no beginner. He was a calm, well-trained self-protection specialist. Just when the duo thinks they've got everything under control, the scene flips. The cyclist reacts firmly, keeps a safe distance, throws both of them completely off rhythm. One decides to switch on instant vanish mode and speeds off. The other ends up left behind. Neighbors are alert. Support is called in. Authorities are notified. In the end, the belongings are recovered. Take a look at this couple casually walking down a quiet street. Suddenly, they change direction, head straight toward a parked car, and open the door as if they own the weekend. But there was one small detail in the script. They picked the car of a true specialist in strategic calm. The guy pulls out his instant courage accessory, drops the classic line, "You're done, you're done." But the specialist reacts firmly,
showing this stage wasn't meant for amateurs. The prop hits the ground, the pair gets tangled up trying to keep the plan alive, and quickly realize their improvised outing went very wrong. Backup is called, the situation comes under control, and the two end up being taken somewhere much more appropriate to rethink the next chapters of their lives.
A Fiorino comes down the wrong way. Right behind it, a patrol car in follow and observe mode. The Fiorino stops. The driver of the day gets out and immediately switches to surprise street race mode. The officers step out, and the avenue turns into an official running track. Meanwhile, people walking on the sidewalk keep chatting, as if it were just another episode of a nighttime soap opera. A little further ahead, the classic adult hide-and-seek makes its appearance, at least in the suspect's head, because the professionals on the other side were not on recess. Until one of the slow escape specialists is found under a vehicle and receives that irresistible invitation for a more serious conversation. Approach completed, situation under control, and the dairy cargo recovered. Notice the man on a motorcycle stopped in front of a shop, constantly looking back, visibly uneasy, as if he were waiting for something. Pedestrians walk past him and enter the place. Everything seems normal until the atmosphere changes. A white car tries to park and the motorcyclist backs up, but the scene starts to look strange. People nearby sense that something is off. Suddenly, a black car stops in the middle of the street. The driver gets out and makes a signal toward the shop. Moments later, a man in a dark jacket rushes out, holding a bag, arm raised. Inside, a suspicious situation was already unfolding. The driver of the black car, in fact, was an undercover police officer. He steps in immediately, identifies himself, orders everyone to stop, and keeps control of the situation. With help from people nearby, the pair is contained until official backup arrives. End of the incident. And another day ends with the clear reminder that attention and readiness make all the difference.
A couple walks calmly down the sidewalk, everything peaceful, until a confident motorcyclist pulls up, acting like the street is an express service. What he didn't imagine is that the guy on the sidewalk wasn't exactly in slow reaction mode. In seconds, the motorcyclist loses his balance, is pulled away from the bike, and watches his plan fall apart right there in front of the camera. Residents notice the commotion and come over to see what's happening, and the hurried visitor realizes that choosing that address was not his best decision. Moments later, he leaves the scene and sprints down the street, while the bike is left behind, and the couple keeps their belongings safe. End of the surprise attack, and the beginning of the realization that things don't always go the way some people imagine. A couple driving by accidentally recorded a scene worthy of a weekly TV replay. 4 members of the well-known Take It and Don't Pay crew were moving down the street. The catch is that the real protagonists were already nearby, an alert police team watching every move. When the group shows up, the officer sees the right moment. The crew even tries to go off script, running in all directions, but the escape attempt doesn't last long. In a matter of seconds, the situation is under control. Part of the group is detained right there, another is found shortly after, and the improvised outing ends in the least desirable place for those who bet on the easy shortcut. The officers wrap up the incident without injuries, and the footage remains as a reminder that things don't always go the way some people imagine. It was early afternoon on a quiet street in the city. 2 men stood in the shade, talking calmly, unaware of what was about to happen. Suddenly, 2 suspects appear. One tries to act natural,
while the other approaches with suspicious behavior. Within seconds, the atmosphere changes. They announce a robbery and take the victim's belongings. Everything is captured by security cameras, every step, every nervous movement. But things don't go as planned. While trying to flee, the two get confused and waste precious time. Just ahead, a police car appears. Alerted by nearby residents, the officers act quickly and close in. With no way out, the pair surrenders immediately. The stolen items are recovered, the victims are unharmed, and the situation ends exactly as everyone hoped, with the law